You're here because you want to learn English effectively, right? And you want to do it from home.
Which is a great way to approach it, definitely.
Smart move. We've dug into some fantastic insights, a real collection of practical steps for learners like you.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
Think of this deep dive as, well, your shortcut to figuring out the best ways to make that happen.
Exactly. What's great about the material is how it covers so many different strategies, things you can actually use, like today.
Right.
So our mission, if you like, is to pull out the most valuable, the most actionable techniques to really boost your learning at home. Doesn't matter where you're starting from.
Okay, let's dive in then, starting with maybe the basics, setting a clear goal. Seems obvious, but why is this always the first step mentioned?
Well, it's fundamental. Your goal gives you direction. What's your why?
Right, like am I learning for an exam? Or
Exactly. Or for travel, maybe for a job,
Mhm.
or just, connecting with more people, knowing that why is like your compass. It guides what you focus on, keeps you going when it gets tough, tailors the whole journey.
Like setting the destination on your GPS before you start driving. Makes sense.
Precisely.
And once you know where you're going, the sources really push this idea of a consistent routine, even just 30 minutes a day. Why is that little and often thing better than, say, a massive study session once a week?
That's about how our brains work, really. Think about absorbing new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Short, regular practice helps things stick. It lets the learning sort of solidify over time. Plus, you avoid burnout.
Okay, so no marathon sessions needed.
Not really. It's about building a habit you can actually keep up, like exercise.
Yep.
A bit often is usually better than going all out sporadically.
Got it. So goal set, routine established. Let's talk building blocks.
Yeah.
Vocabulary. One technique mentioned is labeling stuff around your house. Fridge, mirror.
Yeah, I love this one.
What's the idea there, turning your house into a textbook?
Sort of, but in a good way. It anchors the language in your physical world. You see the word bookshelf on your actual bookshelf.
Ah, okay.
It creates these constant, background reminders. It's passive learning woven into your day. No extra study time needed, really. Makes English part of your environment.
Your home becomes an immersion zone.
Yeah.
Cool. The sources also mention flashcard apps, Anki, Quizlet, and specifically spaced repetition. Sounds a bit technical.
It does, but the concept is pretty simple and really effective. It's based on how we forget things.
Okay.
These apps show you new words often at first. Then, as you get them right, you see them less and less frequently.
Right.
The app brings the word back just before you'd naturally forget it. This forces your brain to recall it, which makes the memory much stronger than just looking at the same card over and over.
Clever. And it's not just about single words, is it? The sources emphasize learning words in phrases, in context. Why is that important? Give us an example.
Yeah, huge difference. Knowing book is one thing,
Mm-hmm.
but learning read a book, borrow a book, an interesting book that shows you how the word actually works with other words.
Okay. Real usage.
Exactly. You learn the natural combinations, collocations we call them. It makes your English sound less like you just swallowed a dictionary, more natural.
Right, right. Okay, moving on to something many find tricky, speaking. Understanding is okay, but actually talking. People get stuck. What's the first step suggested to tackle that?
The sources point to a lack of, let's say, low-stakes practice, and it might feel weird at first, but talking to yourself in English is actually a brilliant starting point.
Really? Just chatting away to nobody?
Yeah, because there's zero pressure.
Yeah.
No judgment. You can just experiment, try forming sentences, describe what you're doing, how you're feeling.
Like a running commentary in your head, but out loud.
Exactly. It's like warming up your speaking muscles in private.
Okay, I can see that. Like a safe practice zone.
Ah.
The source also mentions shadowing. What's that technique?
Shadowing is great for pronunciation and rhythm. You listen to a native speaker, maybe a podcast clip or something, and you repeat what they say immediately after them, almost at the same time, trying to copy their sound, their intonation, everything.
So you're like their echo or shadow.
Precisely. Your voice shadows theirs. It really trains your ear and your mouth for the sounds and flow of natural English.
Interesting. And for people ready to, talk to actual humans, what's recommended?
That's the next step. Language exchange apps are great. Tandem, HelloTalk. You find native English speakers learning your language.
Ah, so it's a swap.
Yeah, a mutual thing. You practice speaking, get feedback, help them out too. Video calls work well too, even just with friends or other learners. It's about getting that real-time interaction practice.
Makes sense. Get comfortable using it for real.
Yeah.
Another tip was recording yourself speaking English. Sounds potentially horrifying.
Huh. It can feel a bit awkward, definitely. But hearing yourself back gives you incredible insight. You suddenly notice your own pronunciation habits, your speed, maybe where you hesitate. Then you can compare it to a native speaker recording. It's direct feedback you give yourself.
Right.
Really powerful, even if it makes you cringe at first.
Okay. Brave face on for that one. Let's switch to listening. The sources talk about using lots of different audio-visual resources. What kind of things should learners look for?
The big thing here is interest. Pick stuff you genuinely enjoy.
Like,
Podcasts on your hobbies, maybe. YouTube channels you already like, but in English now. TV shows that grab you. If you're into cooking, watch English cooking shows.
right, so it doesn't feel like a chore.
Exactly. The more you're into the content, the more you'll absorb naturally, and the more motivated you'll be to keep listening.
And what about subtitles? I think the sources mentioned a way to use them strategically.
Yeah, there's a smart progression suggested. Start with subtitles in your own language if you need to, just to get the basic plot or idea.
Okay.
Then switch to English subtitles. That helps connect the spoken sounds to the written words. Good for vocabulary and spelling.
And the final step.
Eventually, try turning them off completely. Rely just on your ears. It's a gradual buildup of your listening muscle.
Step by step. Makes sense.
Yeah.
The sources also mention active listening. What's the difference between that and just having English radio on in the background?
Big difference. Active listening is focused. You're deliberately paying attention.
Yeah.
You might try repeating sentences you hear, maybe jotting down new words that pop out, or even pausing it and quickly summarizing what was said in your head. It's intentional engagement, not just background noise, much more effective for actually improving.
Got it. Active, not passive.
Yeah.
Okay, let's tackle reading. The sources suggest starting simple. How simple are we talking?
Think foundational. Children's books can be great simple language, clear plots,
Right.
or short stories written for learners. Websites like BBC Learning English or News and Levels are fantastic too. They offer news articles at different difficulty levels.
News and levels, yeah. Heard of that.
The goal is just to build confidence and fluency before you jump into, a massive novel.
And what about new words? Instead of grabbing the dictionary constantly, the advice is to guess from context. Why?
It encourages you to think in English, to use the clues around the word. It's like being a detective. It mirrors real life, right? You don't always have a dictionary handy mid-conversation. Plus, figuring it out yourself in context often makes the words stick better.
Okay, resist the urge to look up everything, and graded readers were mentioned. What are those exactly?
Graded readers are brilliant. They're basically adapted versions of real books, classics, popular novels.
Adapted how?
They're rewritten using specific vocabulary lists and grammar structures for different levels, like A1, B2, etc. So you can read a whole novel that's challenging but not too overwhelming. Great for building reading stamina and enjoying a story.
Nice. Like reading with training wheels.
Kind of, yeah. And just like with speaking, reading aloud is recommended too. What's the benefit there?
It connects the visual word to the spoken sound more strongly. You're physically saying it. Helps with pronunciation, fluency, even just getting the rhythm of English sentences down.
Okay, interesting. Now, writing often feels like a big hurdle. Starting with a daily journal in English is suggested. Why that?
It's a safe space, you know?
Yeah.
Low pressure. Nobody's grading it.
Right?
You just write about your day, your thoughts, whatever. The key is consistency, just getting comfortable putting sentences together in English, expressing yourself. You'll look back after a few weeks and see real progress.
And if you do want feedback on your writing, where can you get that?
Online communities are good for this. The sources mention Langcorrect or forums on sites like Italki. You can post your writing, and native speakers often give feedback.
Peer review, basically.
Yeah, or feedback from more experienced speakers. It's really useful for spotting errors or awkward phrasing you might not notice yourself.
Okay. There was another technique, copying sentences and then making your own with the same structure. How does that work?
It's a really direct way to learn grammar and sentence patterns. First, you copy a correct sentence carefully. That sort of reinforces the structure.
Mm-hmm.
Then you try to create your own sentence, maybe changing the vocabulary, but keeping that same grammatical framework.
Yeah.
It builds your confidence in using those structures correctly yourself.
Like learning a template and then using it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very practical.
All right, let's talk grammar. The G word. Often feared. The sources frame it as a tool, not a barrier. How can learners get into that mindset?
Yeah, changing how you think about grammar is important. It's not just rules to catch you out.
Right.
It's the system that helps you make sense, to be understood clearly. Focus on the basics that help communication. And importantly, don't let fear of mistakes stop you from trying to communicate. Getting your message across is the main goal, even if the grammar isn't perfect yet.
Good point. Perfect is the enemy of good, maybe.
Definitely. And there are loads of free resources mentioned for learning grammar at home, right?
Yes, some really good ones. Websites like English Page, the Grammarly blog,
Oh.
lots of clear explanations and exercises there.
And YouTube channels too, English with Lucy, Learning English with Emma. They make grammar seem much more approachable, kind of engaging.
And the key isn't just reading about the rules, is it?
No, absolutely not. It's about using them
Yeah.
actively.
Right. So if you learn about, say, the past tense,
Yeah.
then you consciously try to use it when you speak or write about yesterday. Make it active practice. That's how it becomes natural, part of your toolkit.
Got it. Active application. Now, one of the biggest pieces of advice seems to be creating an English environment at home. Immersion, basically. What does that actually look like?
It's about surrounding yourself with English as much as possible. Simple things, really.
Like?
Change your phone language to English. Your computer, too. Watch TV shows, movies in English. Listen to English music, podcasts. Even try to think in English sometimes.
Okay, make it unavoidable almost.
The sources give even simpler examples, like writing your shopping list in English.
Does that really help?
Or talking to your pets in English. It sounds small, maybe silly.
But these little things create constant low-level exposure. They normalize English in your daily life. Writing a list makes you think of milk, bread, eggs. Talking to the dog gets you forming simple sentences out loud. It all adds up.
Okay, every little bit counts. And a really important reminder included is about mistakes. Making them is okay, even good.
Yes, crucial point. Fear of mistakes holds so many people back. You have to accept that mistakes are just part of learning anything, especially a language. They show you where you need to improve. They're learning opportunities, not failures. Embrace the errors.
Don't let perfectionism paralyze you. Good advice.
Absolutely. Lastly, staying motivated. It's a marathon, not a sprint. What helps keep learners going?
Setting small, achievable goals is key. Not become fluent by next month, but
More like.
learn 5 new words today or watch 1 YouTube video in English this evening. Small wins build momentum.
Makes sense.
Tracking your progress helps too. Seeing how far you've come in a notebook or an app is really encouraging.
Yeah, visual proof.
Finding a study buddy can provide support and accountability. And maybe most importantly, take breaks. Don't burn out. Try to find ways to actually enjoy the process. It shouldn't feel like torture.
Find the fun in it. Good point. And to help people get started, there was a great list of tools and resources mentioned. Can you give us a quick rundown by skill?
Sure. For vocab, you've got apps like Anki, Quizlet, Memrise, using that spaced repetition we talked about.
Okay. Listening.
BBC Learning English, Voice of America, VOA, Learning English, TED Talks. Lots of great audio and video content there, often with transcripts.
Speaking practice.
Those language exchange apps, Hello Talk, Tandem, and Elsa Speak is an app focused specifically on pronunciation feedback.
Oh, interesting. Reading.
News in levels for current events at different difficulties, graded readers, as we discussed. And simple Wikipedia is good, too, articles written in easier English.
And finally, writing and grammar help.
Grammarly is great for checking your writing, LangCorrect for feedback from others, and the Purdue OWL website is a classic, really comprehensive grammar resource.
Fantastic. Loads of actionable stuff there. So, wrapping this up, learning English effectively at home, it really is doable, isn't it?
Absolutely. It takes consistency, finding methods you actually like. But yeah, you can make huge progress.
It comes back to those small daily efforts adding up over time.
That really is the core message. Don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. Just focus on the next small step you can take today.
So the takeaway is, start now, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
Exactly. Embrace the journey, enjoy the process where you can, and trust that putting in that consistent effort, well, it really does pay off in ways you'll appreciate later on.